Good morning, boys. Oh, let me just shut that door, actually. I just realised that door's open. There we go. Oh, super clean reaction off of the... Oh, had that to check the sound. There we go. Super clean reaction off of the overnight value area low. And overnight, we climbed all the way up to previous day point of control, bounced off it a couple times, and then came lower. So we'll see if we break it this time or if we hold it again. The fact that overnight point of control and previous day's point of control, the fact that overnight point of control, OPOC, is lower than previous day's point of control is a slightly bearish signature, but it'll tell me more after this first 30 minutes is up. So then I can use this current sessions point of control, because you can see that this current sessions point of control is now higher than overnight point of control, suggesting that fair price is shifting higher. But we'll see if this previous day's point of control holds. As far as trade ideas, I'll have to see where volume builds up, really. If we break lower today, then a reaction into this sort of area would be nice. If we have volume anywhere around here, that'd be a nice short trade. I could also go long, to be honest, if we break above previous day's value area high, or even overnight value area high. If we build up some volume in this section that we're in right now, and then break above it, I could easily take I'd preferably enter overnight value area high, and then I could target either previous day's point of control or even previous day's value area high. Maybe I'll leave a runner on for value area high. I do want to leave some runners at some point because it kind of benefits me a lot to leave runners. But I only do them, I will only be leaving runners for specific... I just realised I've not even got chat up, give me a second. There we go. I'm only going to leave runners if price looks like it's in a sort of expansion mood, based off of like where we are compared to value and stuff like that. Like if we're beyond the overnight value levels, then that suggests that we're probably getting a nice moving day if we can confidently move beyond them. And then also like just the base it off of the current profile, like yesterday, that even range profile that I took a trade based off of. I would never probably leave a runner on a trade like that, because that's more just kind of fading the extremes of a consolidation. So, and I mean, I've made the right choice there, because yesterday that trade peaked a little bit higher than I think I got out at, and then came down and would have stopped me out. So I'm also thinking about allowing myself more than one win. Normally, like from my ICT days, it would be like if I win, then that's it, done for the day. But this volume profile strategy, the fact that it's just simply the fact that it's 1-to-1, it means that if I have a day where I lose a trade and then allow myself to trade again, let's say I half my risk on the second trade, then my worst day would be minus 1.5 risk to reward. And if I'm stopping after I win one trade, then my best day is half an R or half a whatever you want to call it, less than my worst possible day. Which I think mathematically doesn't favor me. I should be allowing myself to trade more than once. Just because my risk reward is because I've got a 1-to-1 risk reward. So if I have a trade that's a winner, that's plus 1R. If I have a trade that's a loser, that's negative 1R. And if I have another loser after that first one, then that's minus 1.5 or 2R, depending on what my risk is on the second trade. Compared to if, say, I allow myself 2 wins and then that stops for the day. Then if I have a day where I win 2 trades, that's plus 2R. But I would probably need to think of some sort of... I don't think I would want a winning day to turn to a losing day. So that second trade, probably 2 trades a day, probably like 2 solid trades a day sounds reasonable. And if I then win and lose, then I'm break even on the day. I didn't lose money. I think that might be a nice way to approach simply just like the risk parameters / rules, I guess you can call them. Anyway, that's enough waffling. We've got 9 minutes until I can take a trade based off this profile. We're building some volume up here. I'm building some nice volume here, which is nicely overlapping with these levels. That overnight value area low bounce was, wow. Point of control might shift higher here if we kind of mess around in this sort of area a bit more. Point of control is going to shift from here to here. I'm thinking something like this for a good trade. That's a solid trade idea. And leave a runner on for previous day's high. Previous day's high, previous day's value area high. Gotta wait another 7 minutes though, so. I did turn my mic on, didn't I? Yeah, okay, thank God. This would be an A-rated trade as well. If this value area high is a bit higher, that would be nice. That'd make it a solid A trade. Point of control, high volume node, current session value area high. I don't have any levels above that previous day's value area high until previous week's value area low, so if we move up here, then it's like this is the no trade zone really. I'm either getting in somewhere around here to get long or not at all. There is trades you can take in this sort of like area with the volume profile, you're basically just trading off of the current session volume profile. But I don't like doing that. And the chances are that if it is gonna come up here, then it's gonna break above and then tap this value area high is the first one. That's the nice probable one if we build some volume up here. I am going to get ready to place my limit order in 5 minutes. I think that if this does come down, POC is going to shift from here to here. And while I don't like entering on POC, especially two POCs, I don't mind that so much because it's less of me entering at point of control and more of point of control shifting up to where I'm entering, which is actually a bullish sign. So, as long as we hold above it, obviously. This is also a valid trade here. That's a little bit smaller of a node, but it's arguable. I would want to see this break a bit more confidently up here. And if I'm being really picky, I would want to see more volume develop at that previous day's value area high. Because like look how narrow of a shelf that is and how small it is compared to like this entire shelf of volume here. My stops safely behind that down there. And the fact that I have current session value area high overlapping with this area is an extra confluence that obviously isn't here. Is that 6,850? Ooh. Ouch. Lee Jack, you still using Bullinox? No, not anymore. I was using them. I basically was just not trading well when I was trying to pass the eval, so I never ended up passing it. And then I've switched my strategy, obviously. So, and I just kind of was doing the eval as like trying the company out. But I realized I was kind of also doing it as an excuse to not have to trade my XFAs, which is like the money making accounts, obviously. But when Bullinox do their big discounts for the end of day, I still think they're a real solid choice. But if they're not doing the big discounts, then there is potentially some other firms that I would lean towards, simply because Bullinox is a little bit on the expensive side. When there's no discounts, when they run discounts, they're really solid. I can't remember exactly how much you can get an account for when they do the big discounts, but it's probably like $50, similar to funding ticks. That's why the code on the screen to the right of me is my code for funding ticks, because basically whatever firm I have on the side there is the one that, like, for all the discounts that are currently running that I'm aware of, that is the best one for firms that I would use. So like funding ticks at the moment is the firm that I would use as far as price. But I would have to check Bullinox, as I just passed the evaluation phase today, but got, oh nice, yeah, awesome. Congrats. What do you think of Lucid? I like Lucid. No complaints so far. I've been trying them for probably like 3-4 weeks. I just think they're really solid for what I'm currently. They're like probably a solid firm in general, but specifically for someone who is trying out a new strategy, I'm gonna throw my limit orders in here. Sorry, one sec. 60.5. I doubt that gets filled, to be honest, but we'll see. Yeah, Lucid, very solid for someone who's in my position right now, trying out a new strategy and wanting to keep the habit of entering on like an actual platform rather than just like paper trading on TradingView. So like right now I'm still in the habit of entering on TradeAvate. And then the main reason I went with Lucid for trying volume profile is because they have a one-time fee. So like I paid a one-time fee for a 50k account, and I don't have to then keep paying monthly if I want to just like, obviously it means that I'm trading with pretty low risk, so I don't blow the account, but it's just more of a thing of, yeah, being able to keep me in the kind of mindset of I'm trading an eval, I'm not just paper trading. And paper trading fills on TradingView are horrid. So yeah, happily avoid the paper trading fills. Yeah, for someone who's wanting to try out a new strategy and still stay in the habit of quote unquote prop trading. Okay, big shift there. I'm actually going to cancel that limit order now, because if POC shifts up to where it's shifting now and doesn't hold, then that is actually a bearish signal. Thanks, Kai. Yeah, thanks, Kai. No, welcome. You're welcome, boys. You're bloody welcome. Oh, 1 second. Just got a phone call. There we go. Yeah, I didn't want to take that long there anymore once POC shifted, because if we now fail from this new POC, if we don't hold above it here, then if we come lower and down here, then that's actually bearish, because then we'd be below fair value. Might actually be a no trade day. First day of the week so far. Was Monday a no trade day? No, it wasn't. I got the trade right at the end of Monday. I got the trade right at the open on Monday off stream, and then I got the trade at the end of my session on Monday. And then I got the even distribution trade yesterday. yeah, I'm going to need to see. To be honest, what I would ideally want to happen here is fail from this POC. I would then expect this previous day's value or high to fail. So then if we can come lower into here, build up some more volume in here, which would build up this volume, POC would then shift back down. And then if we can move higher from there, once it's shifted down. That's not like a prediction. That's not like what I think will happen. That's just like what I want to happen, because that would mean I'd get a solid trade. If it just holds above POC here and we just get a kind of move in one straight line day, then I'm not really going to be able to get anything. It's hard to get in on a move where it's just moves in a straight line with no pullbacks, but it very rarely doesn't have a pullback, so we should get something. I mean, I'm going to be here for another hour and 10 minutes, so. Let me check Bullinox's current discounts. Bullinox. No, not Project X. Bullinox. Invest in yourself. Don't mind if I do. Current coupons. Oh yeah, see, they currently have one. For some reason my code wasn't Kai on it. It was like a random number. Oh no, code. Yeah, so let me just read this right. Right now, this is. Let me just. I can't have it both as Kai, but what I can do is put it as KAICAP. Should I put it as KAICAP? Yeah, I'll just put it as KAICAP. Saves me having to change it every time. But yeah, right now, you can get an end of day account with Bullinox for 85% off. They normally do a 45% off discount. So, like, what would that be? Jesus. How much is a Bullinox account again? It's like 100 and... Let me find it. So if you go for option 2, because that's end of day, 50k account, normally it would be 175 if you use code KAICAP, because that's the one that I just put to the 85% code. Can't use your own. I can't use my own code, but I can't even. It won't even fucking tell me. Let's ask ChatGPT. Or I can just use a calculator. You don't have to use ChatGPT for everything. 175 times 0.85. You'll get 104. Yeah. So you can get right now a 50k account with Bullinox for like $27 if you use code KAICAP, which is, yeah, I mean, there you go. I should probably change my OBS thing to say Bullinox code KAICAP right now, because that is what I would be doing with my own money if it were me. So let me get rid of this funding ticks one and just replace that with Bullinox. Or I'll put Bullinox on top and I'll put funding ticks there as well, because funding ticks isn't too far off, but Bullinox is definitely the one I would go for. Or is that even going to look right if I do Bullinox? Bullinox and funding ticks. That's gone off the screen. How's that look? Oh, it's a little bit off the screen. Let me minimize it. That'll do. Yeah, they're the two I would definitely be going for them. Bullinox first. That would have my priority just simply because that's such an insane discount. You do have the activation fee though, so that is something to pay in mind. With Bullinox, you do have the activation fee. So actually, funding tick still works out cheaper, but if you're not too bothered about activation fee, then I mean, $27, I think it was. It was probably like $27 or 26.5. That is an outrageous discount for a 50k account. That's like unheard of. I do forget that Bullinox does have an activation fee. They do have an activation fee, don't they? I remember paying one, I think. Your membership. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure they do. Come on, you'll say it here somewhere. Or not. It probably says it on their actual website, doesn't it? I can't remember how much their activation fee is though. I know that TopStep's is like $149. I think Bullinox's might be actually cheaper than that. Oh no, yeah, it's $148. So like $170 roughly, all in, for a 50k account if you pass in 1 month and pay the fee. So yeah, funding ticks. The power of like no activation fee is so powerful for a firm. Like honestly, it just makes the price so incredibly cheap. Like when you factor everything all together, obviously, it makes it incredibly cheap. But yeah, I would use code KAICAP at Bullinox. I'm going to make a post about that later just because I have code KAI on for Bullinox, but that just gets you like the one that they always run. So that's the only reason I have it as code KAI for that, because it's never going to go anywhere. Whereas the 85% one, they take it on and off like randomly. Obviously, they've got it on at the minute for Black Friday, but I can't have code KAI as that one and then code KAICAP as... I can't have code KAI for both of them, so I'm gonna have to just settle for doing code KAI for one and code KAICAP for other. I need to start just changing. I need to start use KAICAP mainly for a lot of them, because some firms ask you to have like a minimum 6-digit or 6-character code. And we've held at POC, which sucks ass. Won't be surprised if I don't get a trade now, because the market knows that I'm not going to be here tomorrow, so it doesn't want to make me feel good about not being here tomorrow by winning today. It wants to make me feel guilty for winning today, or it wants to make me feel guilty for not trading tomorrow. We are quite literally in no man's land here. Might potentially be I'm gonna sit here until like 11. But if it looks like I'm not gonna get a trade by 11, I won't sit here for the extra half an hour. I'll just set an alert or something so that I can come back and take a trade if just by happenstance one presents itself. It's been so boring like this week. Like Monday was kind of started off and then did nothing, and then right at the end it did something. Yesterday just kind of moved in that range, didn't it? But I didn't manage to get a trade off of that. Where was that? What day is it? It's Wednesday. Yeah, down there. I got a trade in there. I think I basically bought the low of that session. Yeah, I bought here. Bought there, got out, and then it dipped one more time, and that was the low of the session. Pretty cool. Oh, that's annoying me. There we go. That over. See, look at that. Oh. They like just nudge themselves one way or the other, and it's very annoying. Really need a new chair. Can you guys hear that? That's actually not doing it now. It's one thing I miss. I used to have like a real like gaming chair that I had for years until I broke it. Did I break it? I can't remember what happened to it. I probably broke it. I just realised I didn't check news. I know we have, don't we have NFP tomorrow? Which is weird. Oh, we have FOMC meeting minutes later on. It's after market close as well, that's weird. 7 PM. Is my time zone right on this? 3:18, yeah. Wait, no it's not. I mean, FOMC is at like its normal time, so, 2 PM. But it's meeting minutes, I don't really care about meeting minutes. Only the big boy statement. Where the fuck is New York? There we go. Non-form. Yeah, we have NFP tomorrow. Oh, that's annoying. First NF. That would be the first NFP that I would trade with volume profile since we haven't had an NFP for like, Jesus Christ, how long's it been? Like 2 months? 2 months of no NFP? Month? I don't know. And then PMI and all the news is coming back. I'm gonna have to get into the habit of checking news again. I just got out of the habit of checking because it doesn't really matter for volume profile as much, and just there hasn't been any news for what feels like months. Oh, and then we have, it's, what's that holiday called? Thanksgiving? Yeah, Thanksgiving on Thursday next week. Wait, do we have... Oh my god, we have... That's such a... Wow, I wonder how many times that's ever happened in history. Can't be many. We have like back-to-back NFP weeks. We have NFP... Oh wait, no we don't. Sorry. We almost have back-to-back NFP weeks. We have NFP tomorrow, which I'm guessing will be a pretty volatile day, considering that's the first NFP release in, like, since the US government shut down. So I would guess that that's going to be a big NFP. Don't quote me on that, though, if it just duds. And then we have a week of PPI. I would guess that PPI, again, is going to be more a bigger impact than normal, because, again, that'll be the first PPI since government shut down. And then the week after that, we have NFP again, which is just like the back to the normal schedule for NFP. And the market has not moved. I thought my monitor was frozen again, then it's not. Mr. Journey. Good to see you, Mr. Journey. Took a couple losses this morning, trying to get that London low, then flipped long. Last 2 weeks have been rocking it. 1,000 tick win, Jesus Christ. Yeah, can't blame you for trading higher time frames with ranges that big. I actually do have my NQ chart here, and it's got the actual, these are up-to-date value levels now. The overnight isn't. Let me get the overnight value levels there. See if there was any volume profileness that I can spice up NQ with. That would be to 929. Stop it from extending. Yeah, see, this is the thing. ES just seems to, like, be so much nicer for volume from, like, the little things I've seen. I mean, you could say that, obviously, NQ dropped into overnight point of control and then rejected, but yeah, since neither of them have really retraced, so there's not much to go off. Other than that overnight point of control bounce, but it's not as clean as the overnight value area low bounce on ES. Let's see if this POC fails now. Hopefully it will. I wonder if I'm going to be able to get like this a similar sort of trade yesterday if we just kind of chill around up here and develop some sort of like a even distribution in the top half of that profile. Don't know though. I feel like we might hopefully just drop. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. We just took out yesterday's high. Okay, good to know. Yeah, hopefully a good place for a little pullback. Oh, I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that name. What can I call you? I'm just gonna call you P. High P. P99. This is the only downside of trading ES, is when ES finds a price where it thinks it's... where it finds a price that it likes, it kind of just stays there for a while. Unlike NQ. I don't think NQ has ever in history found a price that it likes. It just fucking runs off. P. Diddy. I wonder if we took out previous day's high on ES as well. It's just easier if I go to the daily chart. Oh, did we? Peak above it? Looks like we did. 708. Yeah, just peaked above it. That doesn't really like do anything for me as far as like a volume profile view, but it's still absolutely something that is what's the word I'm looking for? Significant? That's not even previous day's low. High. High, low, high. High. Previous day's high will be here. That is probably previous day's high on a daily chart though, actually, because Tuesday will have the Tuesday daily candle will have started at 6 PM there. So on the daily chart, that's the daily high. But it's still holding at POC. Unfortunately for us. Or unfortunately for me. I feel like I should probably bring the music back at some point just because the silence is deafening. The only issue I had with the music that I used to play was that the headphones that I had in, I couldn't like really change the volume for the music, so the music would be like dead loud in my headphones. I could just invest in some headphones that weren't bought from Thailand though. That's probably the smartest thing to do. Those headphones cost me probably like £15, £20 from a random market in the middle of Thailand. Put a cotton ball in your headphones is actually not that bad of an idea, actually. I wish I have my AirPod Maxes, whatever they're called, the ones that go over your head. It's just annoying that they hurt my head after a while, but when I wear my glasses, they're like perfectly fine when I don't have glasses on, but when I have my glasses on, they just like it just presses my glasses into the side of my head after a while, or like even at the back, and just digs into my head, and it's just so uncomfortable. I know you can get like some sort of guard or something for your glasses, but I just want the headphones to not hurt me. Especially after like an hour and a half of like sitting down with them on. Because the music was fine with those on, but this literally is just... It has found fair value. What more is there to say? This chair really needs some like WD-40 or something. I'm going to give this 15 minutes. And if it's still in this range in 15 minutes, so, well, by 10:45, because I don't want to just sit here and watch price hang around in this area where it's just moving in a range back and forth, because that's not fun for anyone. Was NQ? Oh wow, NQ's doing the same thing, just more erratically. And same sort of thing. If we expand up from here, to be honest, that also kills my interest on the day, because that will mean that I'm just not going to get any setups probably, because it's explored a fair distance away from these value levels where I want to get my trades. So I'll happily walk away flat on the day. And then I'll be back on Friday because I'm not trading tomorrow. I'm otherwise occupied. Where are we on ES on a daily chart, actually? Let me hide all those drawings. No, there's that daily fair value up in ES. That was clean, probably, for some ICT traders on Monday. For a short. Potentially. I don't know if there was actually a setup up there. And then if I was ICT trading, which I am no longer, I'd be looking at that low. Because there's equal lows basically there. and then these lows down there as far as like a daily chart bias on ES. And then we obviously have that low there, but alas, I'm no longer an ICT trader. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I need to like move this chair like up or something. It's there we go. That should squeak less now. That was doing my fucking nutting. Come on, ES. Break that low. Or don't. Is gold doing anything? I don't even know what the tag is for gold. I'm just going to put gold. It's moving more than ES and NQ. I don't have value levels on here though, do I? Oh my god, I have a profile drawn all the way from November 17th. That's funny. Yeah, I can't be bothered to mark up the value levels here. Fuck it, let's just do it. I can see ES on my TraderBait's chart to the left of me, so I can see if it actually moves or not. Money's on not. That's not right, is it? It is right. Why does that overnight session look fucking enormous? God knows. Bang. Overnight value area low. Overnight point of control. Overnight value area high. And then where's the previous day's profile? From 359 to 930. Okay, so gold is very far from its value levels, or its previous day value levels. I don't know why gold... people say that gold respects value levels, but I wonder why. Oh wow, look at that previous day's value area low fade from the overnight session. Damn. Clean. Clean, clean, clean. Broke away there. Now it's breaking back down. ES, I broke that low. Yeah, no real setup actually though. I wonder if there was a long setup that lost there. Probably not. It was probably similar to, because I bet this POC shifted from here. Yeah, this POC shifted at some point, definitely. Yeah, shifted there. Shifted a bit lower. Maybe. I mean, there's not really a high volume node until this overnight point of control on gold. So there's not really a setup here at the overnight value area high. I mean, there is, but not like a real solid one. Potentially, honestly, a short. Genuinely, yeah, potentially a short. Not ideal because it's at the overnight point of control and the current session's point of control has just shifted. But if we can get to something like that on gold, because we have this node here and current session value area low. Definitely keep an eye on that just for watching, just for like curiosity's sake. ES is now broken. But we'll see what it does. It's still kind of in this range, so if it comes back up into the range and still accepts that area, then probably done for the day. Honestly, I'm just going to keep an eye on this gold move because this looks more entertaining. I wouldn't probably enter that trade just yet, but it would look something. I'm not sure how big stops normally are on gold. Something like that, maybe. What's the ATR? Just to get an idea. Okay. Yeah, so that's probably, that looks around about right, really, to be honest. Then like target 7.6. Would you have even gotten entered if you'd have rushed that a little bit? Nah, you wouldn't have been entered. I'd probably enter it if this candle like can close down here somewhere, or even just get down there. That would be a trade that I would take on gold. I've never really liked gold though, probably just because of ICT. ICT has never spoke highly of gold, but volume profile traders seem to love gold. Let's just watch these side by side. I've just asked ChatGPT if there's any logic as to why value levels work on gold like they do ES. Let's see what it says. This is pure just me. Whenever I have a question like that, I literally just ask AI. I'm such a 22-year-old male. Why they work well in general, yeah, I know that, but why on gold? No, it's just saying the same sort of reasons as why ES does. High institutional participation, extremely liquid. Why golds can be even cleaner than ES. Gold often displays more respect to value area high / value area low because of fewer competing microstructure distortions. Interesting. The more you know. Pretty much, Journey, yeah. That's why you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt. Okay, I now would enter that gold short if it got back up there and tagged the entry. I just realised I need to extend this current session line profile. Yeah. Whenever you ask AI a question, it's basically just regurgitating the internet back to you. That's why you kind of can't really trust it completely. Like if you know something, like if you know some sort of topic or something well, have a conversation with ChatGPT about it, and you'll realize that it kind of gets most things right, but some things it gets wrong. And like it won't correct itself. It'll like obviously just tell you that that's true unless you like point out to it, and then it's like, ah, thank you for pointing that out. Yes, you are right. But it's like I'd say it's an improved version of Google. Like Google just shows you. I mean, Google doesn't really do anything that ChatGPT does, but like compiles the information. It's basically just like if you had a robot that when you ask a question, instead of Googling the question and then having to find the answers yourself, it like Googles it and then goes and finds the answers for you and then shows them to you. I would potentially enter that gold short a bit lower just so you're right on the edge of that high volume node, to be honest. And then bring the stop back down to like there. Let's go for like a 4.5. I can't see any trades happening on ES, to be honest, so I'm probably gonna call it a day on around 11ish. I just want to see if this gold trade plays out. I'm not gonna move that entry any lower. I'm gonna keep it there, right on the edge of this node. Right on the edge of. Let me just make that like a normal box. Right on the edge of that node. Oh god, Dumpy, you were in a short there? Jesus. Yeah, I can imagine. Nicely done though. Don't think I'm going to get any trades today. But that's fine by me. I mean, I had a trade on Monday and Tuesday, so multiple trades. $35 short. Ouch. Wonder if that gold trade gets filled. back at previous day's value area high on ES. See, it'd be interesting if that bounces now, even though it's not got much volume there. So it's like literally a one confluence trade, but still a trade. I can guarantee there's some people in Cami's school community that are taking that long on ES right now. No, probably. I can guarantee there's at least some people in Cami's group that have a trade that probably looks something like this. Yeah, probably something like that. Which I would not say is a solid setup. It's more likely to lose. Well, not more likely to lose, but definitely more likely to lose than a setup that you would see me take. TopStep X pisses me off that the candles don't line up with price, don't they? Oh, the delay, yeah. Yeah. I feel like no matter what platform you use, it's always like there's always something. Someone really needs to, like, there's such a gap for like someone to come in and just make like such a good platform and just steal everyone. Because like no matter what platform you use, there's someone complaining about. I mean, you could say that with everything, I guess. Someone's gonna complain about it, but like Tradeovate, I've been using while I've been on this Lucid account, and while there are definitely things it has over Project X, there are absolutely things that Project X has over Tradeovate. Looks like that gold trade never is gonna get filled. Every time price came back up, I added, so it was hard to determine how much I needed to get out. I was thinking this would go further down, but I can't. But I didn't have to hold it. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that gold. Let me delete everything on gold, actually, because I guarantee the next time I check it, that profile is like fucking enormous. Ugh. Ooh, it's just still alive. This is why you don't see me taking these setups though, because like that just got absolutely smacked. I mean, that was probably even worse than just trading with one confluence, because that was one confluence and it actually had context against it for the from the current sessions profile. That context being that POC was like shifted up here, and then price failed to hold at it. It held at it for a bit, but never really got properly above it, and then failed, which is a bearish sign, hinting that this previous day's value area high isn't likely to hold. And I mean, it didn't. Who knows, maybe if someone took this long, they might just still be alive. Maybe it's going to pop up, but I would doubt it. Yeah, there you go. That's why you don't see me taking the C trades, the C rated trades. There's really like no volume on this profile apart from that massive POC. I'm going to go ahead and call this a day though, because I'm not likely to get any trade in this next half an hour though. I don't want to drag the streams out any longer than that feels right. And this stream has definitely been a boring one because price basically just shot up in one direction, went sideways for what? How long did it go sideways for here? Half an hour, 30, 40 minutes. And now it's just going straight in one direction to the downside. So, yeah, I have 30 minutes left of my session, so I'm going to be watching it. And then I'll do a post if I take anything, but I doubt I'm going to get anything because I don't know really what trade I would take in this area now. Maybe, honestly, maybe a short. Maybe a short, but I would want to see a bit more volume build up first. But yeah, I'm going to call it a day there, boys. I will not be here tomorrow, but I will be on Friday, and then every day next week, hopefully. So yeah, I will catch you boys tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I'll catch you boys on Friday.